Good day to everybody out there. So I was just going online and I was looking at the brother from Abercrombie. Shouldn't say the brother, but the guy from Abercrombie and Fitch, um, Mike Jeffries, I believe, who's being charged with sexual assault and other things, some of the same things that Puffy has been charged with. And I was reading that he may be able to be let off because he's struggling with dementia or some other mental disorder. And I don't know if that's a mental disorder, but he may be able to get off. There was a porn star named Ron Jeremy who was also mentioned in that article who was able to exercise that, and they let him out, and he's now home. He's able to be home with caretakers and all that shit. And he had rape accusations back in, I don't know what year it was, but is this a new thing where you're able to have a psychologist? Because, I don't know if you can fake that type of stuff, dementia and not being focused. And because his lawyer is claiming that when he's having these conversations with him, he's not focusing and he's not attentive, and he's several other things that he's not showing so he can provide a service and do his job for this guy and, protect him in the case. Is this something new? I don't want to say it's something new, but is this a way that you're able to get out of being brought up on charges because you can't stand trial? This is new to me. I didn't know, but this was just in the news a few days ago, and as well as these two gay couples, homosexual couples in Georgia. They adopted two children, and not soon thereafter, or about soon thereafter, they started to assault these children sexually. And I didn't know anything about this case. This case was, I guess, brought up 2 years ago, back in 2022. Really didn't hit the news much, as well as their conviction didn't hit the news much. They was convicted of actually soliciting their children out to other people for sex. So not only were they sexually assaulting their children, who they adopted, two little boys, but they also were soliciting their children out to other individuals who were pedophiles. And they got caught because one of the individuals got caught, and of course he told, and he brought the whole thing down. But for some reason, this case didn't really make national news, or they didn't broadcast it as much as they're broadcasting Puff and Jay. And of course, Jay and Puff are celebrities, I get it. But when you have two individuals who adopted two children, who they're performing not only in the house sexual activity, but they're also soliciting these children out to other individuals. This isn't just those two men. These are other individuals who were also partaking in the pedophilia or sexual assault crimes of two minors. I think I don't know how old these little boys were when they adopted them. But, it raises a lot of eyebrows for me. I'm not one to, for me personally, you can do whatever you want to do in your bedroom, except for dealing and messing with children. Children are off limits sexually, period. Rape is off limits, period. But when you're taking and you're adopting children and you're committing sexual acts against these children, that's a no-no. That's a big no-no. I mean, 100 years, they got what they deserve, no parole. But this is a case that hasn't been broadcasted as much. I mean, the children, are you trying to tell me that the children aren't important for you guys, for the news media, and to not broadcast this shit? I mean, social media was really the biggest anchor in this, and as far as getting that out, because that's how I saw it on social media. Granted, I don't watch much news, but I am in a house right now where news is being played, and I haven't heard anything about it. And this happened, these guys got charged 2 years ago, and the case was just now decided 3 to 4 days or a day or two before Christmas. It's a lot of weird shit going on. You know, things like this happen every day. Just don't get caught. That's what happens. People just don't get caught. These guys happen to be caught. I think this should be international news. Definitely national news. Because it's sickening. I can't see how you can find a child attractive. It just doesn't make any sense to me. This should get national news. This should be something that's talked about, just like the Puff and Jay situation, as well as this Abercrombie and Fitch guy. He's actually flying under the radar. He had a bail. He paid his $10 million bail. I guess they didn't give Puff bail because he was threatening witnesses loudly. But this other guy who has just, I don't want to say he has just as much money, but, you know, he has money as well. If you're able to post a $10 million bail, you have money. He could be quietly threatening his victims. But, you know, they were able to let this man out to conduct his business. And now he may be able to walk from trial because he has dementia or some type of neurological disorder. Look into it. It's crazy. But, you know, just as well as we like to broadcast and, you know, make Puffy, who hasn't been convicted of a crime yet, and Jay-Z, who hasn't been convicted of a crime yet, as much as we like to spread that type of news, we should be spreading the news of these guys who just got convicted of these charges in Georgia and were sentenced to 100 years for, you know, pedophilia, as well as sexually assaulting these babies and soliciting these babies to other individuals for sex. It's disgusting. It's horrible. And, you know, they had their day in court, and hopefully they get what they deserve in jail. With that, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We are getting ready to move to Central America. I'd like to have you guys along for the process of us building up this land and cultivating it. In the meantime, we're touching on some of this news in the news, you know, because it doesn't sound and seem right. Peace.